Good morning. Um, I'm on here today. I haven't been on here in a while because I have been traveling the world. I was just in Egypt. I got back last week and I should have got on here and shared with you all how beautiful Egypt is. I often wonder, looking at all the pyramids and all of those things, like how can we not in anywhere build a structure that can withstand a hurricane? But anywho, I'm on here today because I'm trying to. What is this? Trying to show you all. It's freezing in Georgia. And the odd thing is, it was 75 degrees on Christmas. 75 degrees on Christmas. And today is the 30th. And it says, feels like 14. I said 16. So it's 26 degrees outside. Feels like 14. Oh, by 10 a.m., it's going to be 33 degrees. Let's see. Today's high is going to be 43. Yeah. Why? So my little heater is, oh gosh, what is this in my ear? No, no. I don't know what that was. Anyway, my little heater is just really active. I have it set to 56, and I'm sure that, I mean, I'm in a sweatshirt with my sleeves rolled up. I have my heating blanket, and it's probably on 4, but, or is it even on right now? Let me go check. Be right back. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, nope, it's off. It's off. It is off. So last night, I don't know. I guess it's just story time. Last night it was getting cold, and I decided to cook in here, and it's been a while. Starting to have one of breaker my breaker boxes is tripping, and in 7 minutes the breaker had popped. So I had to turn everything on and unplug some things, which really I had to unplug my heater, because my heater, like if I do anything else in that outlet, um, it'll trip the breaker. So I get to figure that out. But anyway, let me tell y'all about Egypt. I went on this trip with 16 other individuals. We call ourselves Family of Choice, and it was a beautiful, beautiful event. I went with Beyond Journeys, and it was beyond anything that I could have ever imagined. I know when I said yes to going to Egypt that I was going to ride a camel and go to the Sahara Desert, because we were camping in the Sahara Desert, and I really wanted to do that. And that's basically the reason why I wanted to go. I had no idea. Like, I read the itinerary from day one of what we were to expect and what we were going to go view, and still really had no idea what what we were what I was getting myself into. Um, I learned a lot about the Egyptians. I learned a lot about mummifying. I I mean, we knew about mummies all my, as far as I can remember. I've heard about a mummy, but had no idea how they did it. It's really interesting. And you wonder, 4,700 years ago, that humans were on this earth and they did an autopsy. and removed organs that they knew what each one of them were and preserved them in the way that they knew how and put them back in the cavity of the body. So, interesting. Also, that they um, were kings that in their afterlife turned into pharaohs or gods. Um, Beautiful artistry, beautiful structures, beautiful. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, just very intellectual individuals to be able to build a pyramid um, in the way that they did. I was very interested in the structures. So I saw, the sycamore trees and how they use those as what we would call nowadays. What's the word I'm looking for? Rebar. Rebar in cement and or in most things are metal rods that hold the cement together and make it more integrous, I suppose. But back then they used sycamore trees that was soaked in some form of liquid that would bond the two stones together or the formations, just like we use rebar. The other thing that was so interesting was their tools that they used and made that looked like a sled. They had rope twine that they made, and they would pull these boulders um, that were carved into a rectangle, and they would pull it and on doilies. I don't know what to call the rods, tree limbs, whatever, that had all the bark taken off, and they looked like a dowel, and it had, you know, uh, however long it was. I'm not sure, but that was the track that they pulled the sleigh on, and then there would be an individual. I call it Frogger. There would be four rods. They would drag it across it, and somebody would get the last rod and bring it to the front, and then get the last rod and bring it to the front. And they did the impossible with what they had. And we struggle every day to do the possible. And we do it with complaint. Well, I say we, I don't. Most people do. They do it with complaints. So there's that. Drinking my coffee. I don't know if I'm going to leave the house for a little while. I've already been out. I've gone out to care for the several rabbits and bunnies and things like that because my friend is out of town. They're coming back today, so I've had to take care of their animals, and the bunnies are so cute. Maybe one day I'll show y'all. But anywho, okay, RV life in cold temperatures. Um, just like anything else, you adapt to what you have to do in any situation. I watched Life Below Zero and I loved it. I know that I'm capable of doing most anything. And I mean, what's a little bit of cold? When you have electricity, I'm okay. Now, if I didn't have electricity, that would be a whole different story. And I'd probably be in my van with the heater on with my heated seat. And I'm not doing that either. Um, but I have a couple of warm blankets on the bottom of my bed. I have my heating blanket. I have this covered up just because, like it's cold near the window. Holy schmoly. And this acts as a barrier And it's just a little blanket. I probably could have used something better than this, but I mean, it's still, it serves its purpose. It does serve its purpose. All right, my peoples. Um, if you have any questions or comments or whatever, ask them and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Uh, Now, the question of hot water when it's cold outside. That's something new that I get to figure out because the hose is outside and it's not insulated. Do I want to even cut it on? We'll see. All right. Bye until next time.